Hello and welcome. Today on the sofa we have Fiona, who is running for Activities Officer. Please tell us a bit about yourself and why you're running for this position.
Okay, so I'm Fiona, I'm a third year psychology student, and the main reason I'm running is because I currently work in activities already as a student activities advisor. So every shift I'm kind of dealing with societies, handing in paperwork, checking that things have gone through okay, if there's anything else they need support on. And although everyone is quite happy with the SU, there are some areas that I know can be improved on and that are causing society's frustration.
Alright, so let's say you were elected as Activities Officer. What out of your policies would be your number one priority?
My number one priority would be to change the new SAS system that's coming in, because some students might not be aware, but last year we had the STARS system, so groups would get bronze, silver, gold accreditation, but they didn't actually get rewarded with anything for that. It would literally be a piece of paper at the end of the year saying, well done, you're on a gold group. Right. So with the system coming back in, because it was scrapped this year, I want it so it focuses on rewarding societies, because currently societies, if they do everything right, it's just like, well done, thanks. But if you do anything wrong, hand something in slightly late, you get a strike, and then societies can move into probation, and that's the plan. But I want to change it slightly, so when the societies reach different levels, like bronze, silver, gold, they get more funding opportunities, and so they can put more money back into the events, back to the members.
Okay, so you talked about giving them like a little reward system. What kind of rewards are you thinking about?
I was thinking mainly like cash, just because I know a lot of societies, especially smaller ones that may only charge £3 for membership, at the most £5, they don't actually have a lot of income to spend on giving back to members. Okay. So for example, I'm the Secretary for Mental Health Awareness and Support, and we only charge our members £3 for membership for the year, and most of our events we make available to non-members as well. So when it comes back to saying thanks to our members that have volunteered with us over the year, help us put on big fundraising events, we can't actually give them anything back, and I think it'd be nice for us to maybe use money to subsidise like an end of year ball or meals out or like stress relieving activities.
Yeah, definitely. So in terms of activities and getting students involved, what are your views on maybe having an app that informs students about specific activities going around in and off campus?
I think that'd be a good idea, because a lot of students aren't aware that things are currently advertised on the union website. So when they submit an event form in for any events they do, societies tick a box saying if they want it publicised or not. And when this happens, a lot of time it just gets put on a calendar on the website, and no one really knows where to find that. Yeah. So I think if there was an app and the calendar was on there, so what's happening today, what's happening this week, a lot of people on the phones will just check anyway. And I think they'd be a lot better. Okay,
so Leicester has a lot of postgraduate students, but not all of them are always able to get involved into activities. How would you go about changing this and getting postgraduates more involved?
Okay, so as I'm not a postgraduate student, I can't really speak on their behalf. So first of all, I'd actually work out what they want. So I'd hold like focus groups, use social media to suss out what activities they want. I know it was raised in the debate last night about a focus on non-drinking events, and I think postgraduates do tend to be a lot older than undergraduates, and they would appreciate less of a heavy drinking culture, so like film nights, quiz nights. So I think if we could work out what they wanted first before actually putting anything on.
Okay, no, that's a brilliant idea. You spoke earlier about societies. What are your thoughts on having like weekly competitions between different societies? Not in really like a competitive way, but just as like a friendly way to get activities interrelated and getting to know each other a bit more.
I think that's a good idea, especially if it was say encouraging fundraising. So we could say which society has raised the most this week, or even this month if this week is too frequent, and just kind of encourage societies to work together as well. So At the minute, that's one of the things for grant funding.
Okay.
So one of the outcomes would be you're more likely to get grant funding if you do work with other societies. So I think that would encourage societies to make bigger events, work together, because a lot of people, well, a lot of students don't make contact with other students outside of the course or the society.
Okay, so volunteering plays a key part in, you know, activities, societies, any events that go on. How would you, as an activities officer, encourage volunteers to get more involved with events and activities?
So I'd maybe speak about my own experiences with volunteering and how it might not always be the most enjoyable experience on some. There is a lot of fun volunteering going on. So with the Mental Health Society, we held the 12-hour football marathon last semester, and that got a lot of people involved who maybe didn't think about fundraising before or taking time out to volunteer. So we had teams from different societies or just general students who came with their friends. So I think kind of just making people aware of what other societies have already done, give them ideas, volunteering. And also Aisha had the volunteering fair this year. So I think if we expanded on that, brought more companies in, got more societies aware of that, I think that would be great.
So Fiona, you want to introduce a students' night. How is this going to be possible?
Okay, so as you're probably aware, the media societies tried to put on their own student-run night.
Yeah, and it didn't go to plan. So what are you going to do that's going to be different?
I'm going to look into the SU's relationship with the O2 because I'm guessing from what I've been reading, this might not be quite right, but that it was communication problems and costs were sent through way too late and there just wasn't good enough communication between the O2 and the SU. So I'd like to look into how they can make it financially viable for this to happen, and I'd also like more support from grant funding for the SU for it, because all the money that goes into it through tickets would go back into societies and the SU, and I think that's more worthwhile than money going back to like people higher up in Rockstar.
So do you feel like it would raise, you know, enough money to actually support all the societies? Because, you know, there's a lot of societies within Leicester, and if it all gets shared out, then do you not think there won't actually be that much given?
Well, I think it'd be a case of which societies actually want to get involved in it, and those that do want to be involved, the money would go back to them, or saying if you get a certain % of your society's members to attend the night, then you will get some money back from that. So it'd be kind of working with and seeing which societies are interested in doing this rather than just handing it out to everyone across the SU. Okay,
so before we end off this interview, we're going to play a quick game. It's a word association game, I'm sure you're aware. I'm going to fire out some words, and the first word that comes into your mind, just shout it out. Okay? Right, so here's the first word. Union.
Fun.
Activities.
Work.
Students.
Diverse.
Inspiration.
My dad.
Fiona.
Lively.
Lust.
What? The radio?
Lust.
Lust.
The TV.
Sorry, I couldn't
That's
hear
fine.
The TV.
Goal.
Football.
Change.
Money.
Leicester.
And home.
All right, thank you so much, Fiona. Good luck for the elections.
Thank you.